Hey everyone, hello to all of you, and a very good evening. Welcome to the session. If you guys can confirm me if I'm properly audible and visible to all of you. Good to go? So, those watching me for the first time, my name is Niharika John Mehra. I'm a faculty of English on CGB Mentors. I have my courses under our batches under our courses on website, which are paid courses with exclusive mentorship for you people. At the same time, I have classes here on daily basis. So I will tell you my schedule goes like this with 1:30 p.m. We have classes here on this channel. Currently 1:30 p.m. EPFO is the exam we are targeting, and classes are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Then 8 p.m. we are having another session, this session going on, editorial session, and it's Monday to Saturday. Okay, which is a very important session because we are covering comprehension, vocabulary, grammar, and practice just in one session of 45 minutes. And we have like multiple verticals covered here, so it's a power packed session for all of you. Okay, now these are the articles that I take from. Usually I take from the Hindu editorial section. This is again from there, and some days we take editorials from the Indian Express as well, but these are the newspapers just ki English, the language matches with the language of English subject as an exam, and it also helps us develop um, um, develop the sense of understanding tone and the message given theme and all in a more subtle way that is relevant to our exam, huh? Okay, so yeah, that's there. So make sure that you complete the session. You are daily here. Okay, then you make sure to like and share the session. We will start with skimming, move to vocabulary, grammar, and then some MCQs. Okay, so, skimming is the art of reading something quickly in a way that you understand, but you don't deep dive into it. You have to not only learn the skill, but you have to cultivate the skill. That means you have to keep practicing so that you get pro at it. Your mind knows at a point, these are the words, they make some sense, and that's how I know what is the main message of a given content, given a piece of article or anything. This is what we need for our exam. This is what we need to practice for our exam so that our time isn't wasted unnecessarily. तो स्किमिंग कैसे करोगे? सब्जेक्ट और वर्ब पे सबसे ज़्यादा ध्यान दो फॉर एवरी सेंटेंस. Avoid reading, actually avoid pronunciation of those words which are hard. Just understand them, like have a look at them, and later on if they are relevant exam mein, then you can get back to that vocabulary, proper nouns, names, tough names, and numbers and all. You have to focus on what is the main thing. Don't get too much into details, don't translate, don't lip sync. So all these things collectively when you do, have a look at it, then आप skimming करते हो. Now you have to skim the passage, skip some words, read ahead. Automatically your mind will start comprehending. जैसे एक एडवर्टाइजमेंट को देखकर आप या किसी पोस्टर को देखकर आप करते हो, हर एक डिटेल नहीं पढ़ लेते ना फर्स्ट लुक में. Do the same with this. Once you are done, 2.5 minutes I'm going to give you to read this one. And once you are done skimming this, when I say read, I mean skimming, you have to tell me in one line, 2 lines, what is the central idea of this passage, of this article. Start reading. I would like to read what you have understood. Central idea, main message of this para, of this passage in 1 or 2 lines. Okay, more than enough time given. I was wondering to see comments from you people, but okay. So, old and unsafe on the Hyderabad fire. We saw Kolkata fire a few days back. We read an article about it. I hope some of you remember. So, old and unsafe, it's a negative tone title. We already know from this that author might have spoken about how the place needs to be redone and all. Cities must undertake fire safety audit for their old buildings. And there is a strong suggestion because must is used. So cities, not just Hyderabad, but cities, I think he means tier 1, tier 2 cities, should undertake fire safety audit. Audits must be done, especially for the old buildings. ठीक है, देखते हैं. Mixing history, tradition, and commerce, history, tradition, and economy wala part bhi यहाँ cover हो रहा है, commerce. The old city neighborhoods of India's metropolises. So, metropolises and the nearby metro cities basically, they have a unique vibrance, color, and feel. So, this is like a good start that there is something about these metros. Some of the hardiest entrepreneurs, some talented craftsmen, and canny business people. Canny means very smart, shrewd. Okay, so these people have set shop there. Setting shop somewhere, it means doing business at that place. So this is the phrase way, using a phrase to convey that meaning. Along with the working class that help turn the wheels of economy. So along with the working class, some great people, business minds, shrewd people, entrepreneurs, staffmen, we see coming from these metros, and they have helped turn the wheels of economy. Means they are running the economy, they are contributing to the economy at a big scale. These neighborhoods are home to narrow lanes. Now he's talking about the neighborhoods. That means the colonies and the place where people live there. They are home to narrow lanes, patli galiyan hai, crumbling commercial structures. Commercial structures are not in good shape. Pigeonholes that serve as residents. Pigeonholes again has nothing to do with the pigeon, but these are not good well maintained, not good place to live. Packed with people, these bustling neighborhoods, now they are bustling as means bhare hue hain logo se, create well-knit communities too. So yes, the place, the setup is kind of old and now it's all overcrowded. It does give us a well-knit community. People, they do, connect with each other, they know. Built where before modern fire safety norms evolved. Now they were built and still the buildings are there before the modern fire safety norms evolved. Most of these buildings are also major fire hazards. See, he's coming to the point here. Now he is going to talk about fire hazard. First, he started with describing the metros, then the infrastructure of metros on a positive note as well. And now he's coming to fire hazard. This is what we even see in Parajungle. We build something and narrow down. You can use this in your essay writing. Okay, you talk about general thing and then you come to the main point. A stone's throw away from the Charminar in Hyderabad. Stone's throw away is another idiom here. It means very close. Okay, something is very close. So this place is very close from the Charminar. A building in Gulzar House housed a large joint family. There was a building and a large joint family lived there, engaged in jewelry business from the time of the Nizam. So from that time, it's like family business going on, jewelry mein, as well as they owned several shops. As is common in old cities, a tunnel-like entrance. Now this is more graphics. It is common in such old cities, a tunnel-like entrance near the shops led to a passage. So first there is tunnel-like entrance, and then through that you are passing through a passage and then a courtyard around which there were shops. So I can't explain this a lot. You just have to imagine. Okay, chalte jao, jaise enter kari, then you are led to a passage, and after that there is a courtyard, ek aangan hai around which there are shops on the ground floor and living areas above. A skylight above the courtyard permitted light but no air. So, how is this place? Entry, single entry. Then there is courtyard, and all over there are shops. And top per skylight hai, that means it's covered with glass or sheets, transparent sheet, but air ke liye jagah nahi hai. On Sunday morning, a fire devastated the family, killing 17, 8 of them children. This is very sad. There was only one staircase to the living areas, just one staircase, a common feature in such accidents. Same was the case with the one accident we read that happened in Kolkata. A few seconds of inhaling smoke can trigger panic. Just a few seconds, because no air. It can such smoke inhalation can trigger panic. Brain death happens. Brain stops working. Brain death. Okay, that happens in a few minutes. The dead had literally no means to escape once the fire took over the narrow passage. Narrow passage ही है तो फिर बच के जाएंगे कहाँ? They had no place. Photographs taken after the blaze was put out still showed smoke obscuring the insides. Okay, obscuring means the smoke was covering the clarity, the transparency. Photographs maybe you can see that smoke was all over there. Gulzar house type buildings, now this kind of buildings are a common sight across India's inner cities. So it's not that it was a unique type of building. This is commonly seen in India and are standing fire hazards, and they are like accidents waiting to happen. In Hyderabad, the street was wide enough for firefighters to access. This was not the case in the previous one. So again, I don't want to compare, but a recent case here. So the street was at least wide enough for firefighters to access, but that is not the case elsewhere. A fire safety audit would establish key deficiencies of each building and perhaps suggest solution. So if there is audit, if there is a check, if there is scrutiny of old buildings, then some of the fire safety norms can be put into place. But there are millions of such buildings, and this would be a humongous task. Humongous means super huge, a big, extremely big. Communities can be engaged by city planners to create awareness. What else we can do? Communities को message पहुंचा सकते हैं by city planners to create awareness and promote safety. Too often a building is built for a certain electric load, and over time the load increases multifold with air conditioners becoming must-haves. Anything that is a must-have is something you now or these days we have to have it. It is common, okay? Just like you remember there was a time there was just one telephone landline in one family, then it started with one mobile, maybe a father or the elderly person would have for the whole house, and now every individual has his or her own phone mobile. So this is now a must have. Similarly, what we are saying here is that these buildings, they are built to take only a certain amount of electric load. But because the lifestyle has changed, now air conditioners are becoming must-haves and all, and this load is now it has increased, and that is another cause to worry. Fire safety takes a hit right there. Creating more access and exit points, training residents to escape fires are eventually the most effective fire safety measures. So we want more access, exit point. There should not be just one entrance, one exit, and the same is the exit. Training the residents, all these can help. Each neighborhood could have a volunteer fire champion who would advocate for fire safety. So every neighborhood can have someone who is teaching, who is making people aware of fire safety, making sure things are in place. While policy and government action can initiate change, while government action can do something, communities will have to be in the forefront of ensuring fire safety. So first, like forefront is somebody who has to be, or those people who will be first ones to respond, to face, to do something about the situation. So that is going to be communities, and that's why author is suggesting that communities, we need to engage them. It's not the government alone who can do, because it's a humongous task to audit so many old buildings standing in India. है ना? चलो, let's see some vocabulary and then we will do some grammar. Vibrancy is the quality of being energetic, full of life. So anywhere you see liveliness, you see energy, vitality, वहाँ पे life है ऐसा feel होता है, that is vibrancy. Canny is opposite of uncanny. Okay, canny, being canny, it is an adjective. It means shrewd, astute, chalak, a good kind of. Okay, smart and careful. Especially if this relates to doing business, then canny is used in a way where we are actually praising the person. Otherwise, आप cunning meaning समझ लोगे. Crumbing is breaking or falling apart. Okay, decaying, जर्जर अवस्था में, dilapidated, crumbs की तरह बिखर रहा है. Tunnel like a tunnel, resemble a सुरंग जैसा. आप लोग ट्रेन में अगर ट्रैवल कर रहे हो, आपने और भी दूसरी टनल्स रोड पे भी जो टनल्स होती है वो देखी होंगी. सो दैट इज नैरो एंड क्लोज्ड. You enter and then, I mean, you exit from the other and you don't have here and there to go. Obscuring is covering. Anything that is obscuring is making things unclear. Something like a shield, something like a sheet, because of which आप transparency नहीं पा रहे हो. Humongous is an adjective, OUS में end हो रहा है. Very large, massive, gigantic, very 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 big. Initiate is to start something, to commence. Deficiencies are the shortages, किसी चीज की कमियां, lapses, gaps, shortcomings. Inhalation is breathing, okay, taking air in. Trigger is to cause an event, anything, especially a negative event, a negative emotion. If negative reaction is provoked, उसको चिंगारी मिलती है, वो उत्पन्न करना is trigger. And forefront is the leading or the most important position. आगे वाली पोजीशन जो लेता है वो फोरफ्रंट पे होता है. वी हैव ऑल्सो रेड दिस अ लॉट ड्यूरिंग कोविड पीरियड न्यूज एंड ऑल, राइट. सो ये हमारे वर्ड्स थे. नाउ इट्स योर टाइम टू आंसर सम क्वेश्चंस. Okay, subject and verb agreement of this sentence. So this sentence starts with a present participle. Mixing ABCD doesn't matter. यहाँ पे this is just the beginning. This is just what we have in the like as a starter. The old city neighborhoods have something. So this is the plural. That is your noun, main subject, and have here is your verb. India cannot be. See, if India would have been the subject, then first of all apostrophe s वाले words subject नहीं होते हैं. Secondly, it is singular, so why have, right? So neighborhoods, plural, and respective verb is have. Okay. Part of speech of this word. This is adjective, no doubt. Learn something here, okay? Now I have seen many students thinking to है तो ये तो verb first form के साथ ही आएगा. But this is not always the case. In this sense, you can see in this sentence, neighborhoods are home to. Now that's the way we write when we want to talk about someone or something belonging to a place. So home to what? Home to lanes, lanes which are narrow. So look wise, after to, I'm using an adjective. Don't think it is always going to be verb first form. Okay? Uh, Subject and verb of this sentence. Main subject and verb of the sentence I have just highlighted. Okay. So, a stone's throw away from somewhere. Now, the location is described first here. Of course, that's not my subject. A building is your main subject here. Housed. You will be amazed if you don't know till now. House is not just a noun, it is also something that can act as a verb. Okay. So, this is what my verb second form looks like. This is your main verb, building, housed something. Okay. Yeah, see, small things now. But if we stop practicing, if we don't pay attention, we might miss out on it in the same way you are missing out on such things in exam. So, such से याद आया. Such without a such मतलब a अगर नहीं है, so such always takes plural after it. Okay. My question to you is, why is this sentence? Why is it correct to use simple present tense in this sentence? Why is it okay? Why is it needed that I use simple present tense in the sentence I have marked? So the answer is because this is a fact. Brain death happens in a few minutes. This information is a fact. It's a universal truth, and hence simple present tense, very easy. Last thing. Uh, how is parallelism used in this sentence? How is parallelism used in the sentence I have marked? Like and share जरूर से कर दीजिएगा students. It's a fact, not current situation. It's a fact. So it is creating and training. Creating ABCD and training someone. Now these two things are the most effective safety measures. So R is यहाँ पे verb for two subjects. Training someone, creating something. जो भी create हो रहा है, train हो रहा है, उससे meaning नहीं मतलब है. These two are the gerunds and there is the parallelism. Okay, so parallelism is when you are using a connector, especially like and, before and after, we want to create a balance. We want to keep a balance, okay? So I like to sing and dance. Okay, I like to do one thing, work first form, and dance, work first form. Dancing अगर यहाँ पे होता then it would have been wrong because I like to sing and I like dancing. Balance हट गया. There is no more balance now. So this is what the parallelism is. Okay, in short, that's what I can tell you. Chalo. So the tone here was cautionary and urgent. Of course, the cautions, urgency, some solutions author has mentioned. The editorial reflects on the tragic fire accident in Hyderabad, old city that killed so many people, and highlights the fire safety crisis in India's heritage urban cores, most of the cities. Many older buildings remain major fire hazards due to the structure, that is narrow passage, limited exits, increased electrical loads, poor ventilation that was described. It advocates, it demands for large scale audits. Community should participate. Policy interventions are also needed, but of course, that is not enough. Emphasis is on training residents, involving local champions, involving the community to do something. So that should be the focus. This is the summary. First question. These are the easy questions, so let's not take a lot of time. According to the editorial, what was a significant architectural flaw? The significant one was tunnel like entrance, single entrance with only one staircase. So B is the right answer. Answer to this one is C. Humongous task was with respect to the number of buildings, volume of buildings, and that's why it is overwhelming. This is the reason why author has used this phrase, humongous task. Question number 3. Answer is C. What does the editorial imply as the most effective measure? So that is community awareness and training residents. Summary में भी बता दिया, explanation में भी बता दिया, passage में भी clearly ही mentioned था. Next. Fire safety takes a hit right there refers to overloading the electrical system. In installation की बात नहीं है, takes a hit. Hit means there is the point where everything goes to drain, है ना, सब खराब हो जाता है. So that's what it is. B is the answer. Water supply and all तो mention भी नहीं था. Understand the question carefully. ऐसा तो you will be able to understand. Answer here is C. What tone does the author adopt when discussing city government's role? It is urgent and directive. Sarcastic or neutral क्यों होगा? It is something so serious, derisive, criticize करने वाला, नीचा, mocking. Why it will be like so? There you go, your first question. Answer here. Mixing history, tradition, and commerce. The old city neighborhoods. Okay, so this is the starter, mixing them. The neighborhoods of India's metropolises, the neighborhoods have a unique vibrancy, color, and feel that is unmatched elsewhere. Why is? Yes, I have three nouns, vibrancy, color, and feel. But there is a unique vibrancy, color, and feel. That means I am taking or I am using multiple nouns, but they give me one idea. They are not separate things. It's like dal and rice is my favorite meal. So that's what is happening here. This is the rule, and that's why is should come in D part. Next one. Answer to this one is related to something I just shared. So each neighborhood could have volunteer fire champions who would advocate and ensure, who would work first form, who would advocate for fire safety, and the same person who would ensure work first form would come. C is the answer. Regular evacuation drills. Okay. Each takes singular noun, so that is okay. Could have, after could I am using verb first form have, क्योंकि किसी चीज के होने के सेंस की बात हो रही है. So there is no use of any other verb here. Third one. The passage that leads, passage singular है तो leads from the tunnel like entrance to the courtyard is narrowing. अगर मैं बोलूंगी it would mean वो narrow होता जा रहा है. As I go ahead it gets narrow, 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 narrow. This is not what is mentioned here. I mean, irrespective of you have already read this thing, just imagine what will be the meaning of putting this thing in continuous tense or using verb ing as adjective where I do have a proper adjective, the word narrow. So the passage is narrow and dark, making escape difficult during a fire. Okay, so the passage is how? Narrow, adjective number 1. It is dark, adjective number 2. And this is the context. Communities can be engaged. By whom? By city planners. To do what? Create. Create what? Awareness. And to promote parallelism maintained. Safety. Among whom? Among the residents. Doing what? By conducting. Conducting what? Mock drills. How often? Regularly. So as you connect the words ahead, you know there is no error in this one. Answer is E. Last one. Answer here is D. Congestions नहीं होगा. It is an uncountable noun. तो S क्यों लगेगा? Though the street was wide enough for firefighters to access what their equipment was delayed. Access यहाँ पे दो का खत्म हुआ. Their equipment was delayed due to congestion near the site. Okay. So congestion singular, not congestions. Okay. That's it. Thank you so much all of you for being here, attending the session. Tomorrow, 1:30 p.m., we'll meet here for EPFO practice session. Small questions. Hence, we are able to do a lot of questions in just 45 minutes. And then at 8 p.m. again here for editorial analysis. Okay. So thank you. See you later.